I studied public speaking for 5 years, and this is what I learned. Is this thing on? Is it on? I usually don't participate in these roasts, but I thought I'd make an exception tonight.
We really always have to twist your arm to get up there.
Twist my arm for that. And I mean, Del Payne, he's an incredible guy. I have to tell you some things about Del, but before that, I have to remind you that the last time we all got together was for my going away party, where I went to Spring House, and at that time, when I came up at the end, I told a story that I had never told before in public about Shari Samuels, where we ended up watching a porno movie together. In my office. For those of you who weren't there, you'll have to check that out after that. And so tonight, I would like to tell you a story, once again, that I have never told in public about Del Payne. I promised Del that I would never tell it, but it's been 10 years now, a solid decade, and I thought I could at least tell this to my colleagues. Now, Del and I used to go to lunch, right? We'd go to lunch every couple of weeks. Back when I was in the home office, we had a great time. We'd go out, we'd talk about it, just like Laura, we'd talk about everything. And we'd go out to lunch, I'd say twice a month. And one time we decided, let's go out after work and have a beer. So we did. We went to Little John's, I think. We sat down at Little John's, and both of us are having a couple of beers, you know, and then we had a couple of more beers. And Del, he was getting a little bit toasted. And I mean, he really, you know, you think he's loose now. And it was incredible because he got a little bit sentimental. And I had never seen him that way before. And he said, Steve, I'll tell you something. I really have only one regret in life. He said that I wasn't born a Jew. I said, Del, I can't believe that. That's unbelievable. You never told me that. He said, no, it's the truth. He said, I always wanted to be a heathen. I said, Del, I can help you with that. It's $1,000 down. $49.95 a month. And I was really moved by this. And I'm very connected with Jewish activities in my area. Back at that time, and I said, Del, you know, I'm president of my synagogue, Ohev Shlomo. And actually, I'm nominated for B'nai B'rith Man of the Year, and I think I can help you. If you want to become a Jew, I can help you do that. So he was excited. I mean, this was his lifelong dream to become Jewish. So we embarked on this campaign. It was every night after work. Del and I went up to Ben Franklin High School, and we would study the Talmud, the Torah, Judaism, Hebrew. You remember that, Del? It was incredible. And Alton started to notice some very strange things happening with Del. He took all his Wonder Bread and he put it down the garbage disposal. He had a gigantic side of corned beef delivered to his home. And he started to wear his pants higher and higher. And it was incredible, but he was, before my very eyes, he was turning Jewish, but he wasn't official. It wasn't official yet. He really did want to have that actual conversion. So I went to my rabbi, and we set up a ceremony because Del had spent an entire year with me studying the Jewish religion. And we had a ceremony in which Del became Jewish, and the tears flowed. It was a shame your family couldn't be there with you. It was fantastic. And you know, Del, I really thought he would be grateful, but I had in the back of my mind, I didn't say this to him, but I thought, you know, I had a sort of a motive, an ulterior motive. I thought, you know, if I can turn a black guy into a Jew, I am going to be B'nai B'rith Man of the Year. He don't believe in miracles. That would be a miracle. And so Dell became Jewish, right? He kept it quiet from everybody in this room, all his colleagues, and you know, it was incredible because I thought there would be this great outpouring of affection. He would be so grateful to me, but instead, one time he invites me to one of his dinners where he's being awarded, right? It was at the Wyndham Franklin Plaza, and Dell gets up there. I'm sitting in the audience, there's like 500 people, and Dell gets up there and he starts doing my Jewish material. I couldn't believe it. He's up there saying, oh, I remember when I was Jewish growing up. It was tough. I remember after school, my friends would be out playing baseball, and I'd be going door to door selling mutual funds. And here was this guy. No, he wasn't grateful at all. He stole my material. And I have to tell you that I felt bad about that because I felt as if he kind of betrayed me. And I really wasn't getting what I wanted from that. And I was very depressed. And I said to Ingrid, you know, I'm really depressed about my friend Del Payne, what he's done to me. Become Jewish, stolen my Jewish material. I said, what do I have to thank? She says, look, Steve, whenever you're upset, you like to go to the synagogue. So we went to the synagogue, and I wanted to sort of, you know, get into my Jewish roots. And we went to the synagogue. It was Ohev Shlomo, right? And I was depressed. Ingrid was with me. We walk into the synagogue. And there, standing before me, was the most unbelievable sight I have ever seen in my entire life. Are you ready for this? I drove all the way to Willingboro. I went plodding through his hedges. I pulled up a couple of mums on the way just for the hell of it. I got up to his door. I banged on the door. Del opens the door. He says, "Shalom, my man." I said, "Del, how can you do this to me? We're supposed to be friends." And I'll tell you something. I got to Del. I really got to him, and he really felt guilty. I went home and I left Del to think his own thoughts, and he realized that he had really betrayed a colleague, and he felt bad. And he knew that he had to do something about it, and he had this overwhelming sense of guilt that George gets once in a while. And he knew the only way to get over this guilt was to go to confession. So Del immediately went to church, went into the confessional, and he said, "Bless me, my Father, for I have sinned." Do you know what it's like to think that you're doing something right, and in the end it doesn't come out right? Did you ever do anything like that? And the priest said, "I don't know, Jew?" And Del said, "I knew you'd understand." So the priest worked with me a little. The priest said, "Del, I will turn you back into a Gentile. Say 4 Hail Marys and 5 Our Fathers, and I will turn you back from a Jew into a Gentile. But before I do that, I have one question for you. Can you give me the name of a good caterer?" I can't believe that was my final line.